Morning, kids. It's your dad here again. Another little update on what's been going on here on the Pacific Crest Trail. I ended the last episode just short of the Paradise Valley Cafe, which is kind of a landmark on the PCT, and a lot of hikers go there, and also a lot of other people, such as bikers and tourists, and apparently celebrities too. I think they do a lot of filming out there because of, I noticed there were a lot of signed posters on the walls, and it's a very interesting, charming place. They have really good food, really good burgers, and they have good selection of beers, and the service is really good. And they also accept packages there. So I had a package sent with a resupply, and just picked up my box and had a meal, and then a group of us then got a ride into Idlewild, which is this little mountain town, and we got an Airbnb. So it was a pretty big group, and we got a really nice house. It had 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and a big kitchen and a laundry, and it was a really good place to spend a couple nights. And the people that I met up with were just a really nice group of people. They didn't really all know each other. Well, there's a couple from Belgium. They were married, so they obviously knew each other. But in general, they were just people who met on the trail and agreed to get a place together, and they've been walking together for a while. So that was a lot of fun. I made a big breakfast on Easter Sunday morning, and had eggs and hash browns and some vegan options and so forth. And that was a good time. And then on Monday, the 10th of April, got a ride back to Paradise Valley Cafe with a fellow named Grumpy. Grumpy is he calls himself a trail angel. He runs a website, and he just drives hikers around. That's kind of what he does. And he doesn't charge any money, but he accepts tips. And uh, I asked him if he takes any days off, and he says no. He works every day. And I asked him why he's called Grumpy, and he just said because he's grumpy. But I disagree. I found him to be affable and talkative and very kind and helpful. But I guess Grumpy is a better name. So plus he has a hat that says Grumpy. So I got to ride back to Paradise Valley Cafe. Started walking again, and my strategy at the time was to sort of take my time, let other people go through, let the snow melt, let the weather do its thing. And the first camp spot was only about 5 miles in. It was a really nice place. It was shaded, and it was also sheltered from wind. And there was nobody else there. Most people were skipping through that whole section from Paradise Valley Cafe to what's called Black Mountain Road because of the snow and the trail conditions. But I thought I'd give it a shot. And the second night, no, second day, another 5 miles or so to another really nice spot with water nearby and shade, and it wasn't windy or anything like that. And the third day, walked about 9 miles up to a place called Spittler Peak Trail, Spittler Peak, and uh, stopped right there and camped at about mile, I guess it's 168.5 or so. And I was on a ridge. It was very windy. It was beautiful, but all night long, the wind was just howling, and didn't get a lot of sleep. I was a little worried about the tent, but that tent, it held up. I gotta hand it to that fellow Durston out of Canada. He made a really good tent that doesn't weigh very much, and it holds up in really strong winds as long as you stake it right and put some rocks on top of the stakes. The next day, I had planned to keep going and see how far I could go, but unfortunately, I woke up and discovered that my inflatable sleeping pad had developed a leak in it, and so I was just laying flat on the cold ground. And knowing that there was going to be snow camping ahead and very cold temperatures, I opted to jump off the trail at the Spittler Peak Trail and went back down. It's about 8 miles back down to the road. Used my phone to arrange for I got a cabin, and called Grumpy. Grumpy came and got me in like 5 minutes, picked me up, took me into town, and and then I took a day off and got a visit from my friend Dan, who drove up from San Diego. He's a guy I used to work with a few years ago, And Dan drove me to the laundry and then to the coffee shop and then back to the laundry and then to the gear shop to get a new sleeping pad and also some new footwear. I got some boots that are warmer and a little more waterproof, and because I know I have about 100 miles of snow to walk through in the San Bernardino Mountains, and I just didn't want to do that in trail runners. So I ditched the trail runners and I got actual boots now. And then we went to a brew pub and had burgers and a beer and had some good conversations. So I really enjoyed that visit. And then yesterday, got a ride again from Grumpy, who drove me up to Black Mountain Road, which is about an 8 mile uphill walk back to the Pacific Crest Trail. And the first 4 miles were just a steady walk on a dirt road, and some dirt and some asphalt or pavement. But the last 4 miles was just snow. It was just uphill through snow, which wasn't too bad because I had my boots and it wasn't too bad. And there were people who had blazed a trail ahead of me, so I just kind of walked in those footsteps for the most part. Didn't do a whole lot of post holing. The section that I walked up to Spittler Peak was a whole different. It was a whole different story. It was vertical hillsides. The trail just you just lose the trail into the snow, and there's so many down trees that you have a mix of branches and trees and snow, and you have to get around it. And the only way to get around it is to climb on all fours, almost vertical uphill to get around it, and then. Uh, it was just a mess. It took me about 2 hours to get 1 mile at one point. So there was none of that on the Black Mountain Road section. And then right at the time that I got up there, I met up with some people that I had met before. There was the guy from Sweden, Jonas, who now has a trail name. His trail name is Worth It because he says he's worth it anytime somebody offers him something, and whether it's good for him or not. And then the two Germans, Bjorn, whose trail name is Refill, because apparently he gets a lot of refills when he goes to have a meal. And then and his girlfriend Annika, whose trail name is Nasty Cheese, and I didn't ask how she got that trail name. And then a fellow named OK, which apparently stands for Ohio Kyle, and he's a real nice guy. So I camped with them last night here at about mile 192 or so, something like that, 192. So today's plan is to walk down about 12 miles or so to a campsite that has apparently, I hear rumors that there's a spigot where you can just get water out of the spigot, so that'll be nice. And then it'll be a short walk to I-10, where hopefully I will meet up with your Uncle David, Uncle Dede, and maybe spend a night there in Palm Springs, do some laundry, and grab a couple other things to resupply, and then head back up the mountain into the San Bernardinos, where I will be going around the Big Bear area and walking through a lot more snow. So that's about all I have for this episode. And as usual, I'm going to leave you with a little video montage of the things that I've been seeing. And also, I want to remind you that I do love you and I'm proud of you and I miss you. And I'll see you soon. But until then, be good to each other. All right. Bye.
Moin, Gabi.
Hey Estella.
Hey Gabi. Hey Estella.
Ciao Gabi and Estella.
Hello, Estella.
Hallo, Gabi.
Hi Stella, hi Gabby.
Hi Stella, hi Gabby.
Hi Stella, hi Gabby.
Hey Stella, hey Gabby.
Hey Stella and Gabby.
Bonjour from la France.